The school bell hadn't rung yet. Chaos erupted before it could. Officer Ryan Carter had just zipped his jacket when Titan, his K-9 partner of 5 years, let out a guttural growl. Not a playful one. This was a warning, slicing through the crisp morning air like a gunshot. Before Ryan could react, Titan lunged. The leash nearly tore from his hand. "Whoa, easy, boy," Ryan shouted, stumbling to keep control. Titan didn't listen. His paws thundered across the sidewalk, charging toward the school gate. Straight toward a little boy who hadn't seen him coming. In seconds, the German Shepherd tackled something from the boy's hand. It flew to the ground with a sharp crack. The boy, stunned, stumbled back onto his backpack, wide-eyed and frozen. A tiny foil-wrapped object lay crushed on the concrete. A piece of candy. Titan had just saved that boy's life. Though no one knew it yet. The morning had started like any other in Green Haven, Ohio. A quiet town nestled between farmland and suburbia. School buses honked at squirrels. Neighbors shoveled each other's driveways. A police K-9 team patrolling the local elementary school was more for show than necessity. Officer Ryan Carter, 36, didn't mind. After a decade of gritty beat work in Columbus, the slower pace was a relief. So was working with Titan, a golden-brown German Shepherd with a bloodhound's nose and a soldier's heart. Ryan had no kids of his own. But watching the children at Maple Grove Elementary wave to Titan like he was a rock star, that came close. Which made Titan's outburst all the more shocking. Before we dive into this heart-pounding story, please subscribe to my channel for more of these kinds of stories. Many people watch videos without subscribing. Your one subscription helps me create more of these kinds of videos. What's the most heroic thing you've ever seen a dog do? Drop your answer in the comments below. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Caleb, are you okay? Ryan knelt beside the boy, maybe 8 or 9, with messy blonde hair and a blue hoodie too big for him. Caleb nodded, still processing. That was Titan, he said quietly. He didn't mean to hurt me, right? Nobody, Ryan said, patting his shoulder. He wasn't trying to hurt you. He glanced at the object Titan had knocked away. A green-wrapped hard candy, dented from the fall. The wrapper was torn. Titan paced tightly now, tail stiff, nose low, growling faintly at the candy like it was a threat. "Where'd you get that, Caleb?" Ryan asked. Caleb looked up, unsure. "She gave it to me," he said finally. "She?" "Yeah, a lady by the sidewalk. She said I looked brave. Smiled a lot. Said I could have a treat." Ryan's blood chilled. "Did you see where she went?" Caleb shook his head. "She had a big scarf. Sunglasses. I don't remember." Ryan stood, radioing for school staff and backup. 10:48, potential suspicious activity outside Maple Grove Elementary. I've got a minor and an item to secure. Requesting forensic pickup on site. He turned to Titan, now seated like a statue, eyes locked on the candy. "Good boy," Ryan muttered. "Real good boy." Within minutes, the principal, Sarah Bennett, arrived with 2 teachers. They guided Caleb inside while Ryan gloved up, bagging the candy and its torn wrapper. "You think someone tried to hurt him?" Sarah asked, disbelief in her voice. Ryan didn't answer right away. "I think someone gave a kid something and didn't want to be seen. I'm not guessing until the lab checks this. Should we call his parents?" "Already done," Ryan said. "They're on their way." Sarah glanced at Titan, now calm but alert. "He's never done that before, has he?" "No," Ryan replied. "And that's what scares me." Back at the precinct, Ryan couldn't shake it. He'd seen Titan sniff out fentanyl under floorboards, track missing teens through woods, and even break up a fight just by barking. But this? This was different. Raw instinct, urgent. Titan reacted before Ryan even sensed danger. Not to a person. Not to a weapon. To a piece of candy in a child's hand. It didn't make sense. Unless Titan smelled something Ryan couldn't. The lab rushed the sample. Toxicology would take days, but a preliminary screening could be back in 24 hours. Ryan submitted the wrapper, the crushed candy, and the exact timestamp when Caleb said the woman approached. He pulled security footage from the school's exterior cameras. Strangely, there was a 2-minute gap during morning drop-off. Right when Caleb mentioned the woman. Glitch, the tech said. Or someone who knows how to block a signal. Either way, Ryan muttered, it's not good. That night, Titan was restless. Normally, he curled up by the living room window while Ryan finished paperwork. Tonight, he paced, whining softly. Every so often, he'd sit by the front door, staring like someone was outside. Ryan didn't like it. Neither did his gut. He poured a second coffee and sat beside Titan, rubbing his ears. You smelled something on that candy, didn't you? He asked softly. Something you didn't like. Titan blinked but didn't relax, ears up, body tense. That night, Ryan didn't sleep well. He kept the leash on the nightstand, just in case. The next morning, a plain envelope arrived at Caleb Wilson's house. No return address, just the family's last name in black marker. Inside, a folded note, be careful who your son talks to. No signature, no prints. Just those 7 words and a green smear on the paper's edge, matching the candy wrapper. The envelope sat on the table when Ryan got the call. He'd barely finished his coffee when his phone buzzed. Dr. Emily Harper, lead chemist at the county forensic lab. She never called unless it was urgent. Ryan, she said, no pleasantries. I need you here. It's about the candy sample. His pulse quickened. How bad are we talking? Bad enough I'm not saying it over the phone. 20 minutes later, Ryan stood in the sterile lab as Dr. Harper held up a tablet with results. The crushed candy Titan knocked from Caleb's hand contained trace amounts of tetraamopropia. A precursor to synthetic poisons, she said. Nasty stuff. Bitter, colorless, and odorless when masked. Ryan frowned. You mean like what? Depending on the ratio, it could mimic cyanide or high-grade pesticide poisoning, she said, scrolling. Here's the kicker, it was dosed low. Micrograms. Enough to build over time if the kid kept eating. So it wouldn't kill him immediately? No. It'd make him sick first. Fatigue, nausea, maybe vomiting. Parents might think it's a stomach bug. By the 3rd or 4th piece, Ryan stared at the crushed candy on the screen, rage boiling. So someone planned this, he said slowly. They weren't just trying to scare him. No, Harper said. They were trying to condition him. See if he'd keep taking the candy. If he trusted the source. Ryan's jaw clenched. Like grooming, but with poison. She nodded grimly. This was no accident. Whoever made it had a chemical background. Back at the precinct, Ryan sat alone in the briefing room, lights dim. Titan lay silently at his feet. He replayed it all, Titan's aggressive reaction, the missing footage, and Caleb's vague description of the woman in the scarf. And now this. It wasn't random. It wasn't a prank. It was targeted. But why, Caleb? Ryan visited the Wilson family that afternoon. Caleb's mother, Lisa, opened the door, tired eyes holding a cold coffee mug. I figured you'd come, she said softly, ushering him in. Caleb sat curled on the couch, hugging a stuffed bear, watching cartoons on low volume. Can I talk to him? Ryan asked gently. Lisa nodded. Just go slow. He's been having nightmares. Ryan crouched beside the couch. Hey, Caleb, remember me? The boy looked up, eyes wary. You're Titan's dad. Ryan chuckled. Something like that. Titan says hi, by the way. Is he okay? Caleb whispered. He's great. And he thinks you're really brave. Caleb nodded slowly. Hey, can I ask you something? Do you remember anything else about the lady who gave you the candy? Caleb was quiet for a long moment. She had shiny shoes. Like church shoes. And she smelled like lemons. Like the wipes Mom keeps in the car. Ryan smiled gently. That's good. That helps. Then Caleb whispered something that froze Ryan. She said she'd see me again. Next time, she had a whole bag. Ryan returned to the station and pulled files on recent child-related incidents. Suspicious loitering, attempted luring, or anything similar. 3 cases in 8 months across Ohio and Pennsylvania. All involved unknown women approaching young boys, offering candy or small gifts, and wearing scarves or hats. In one case, a 6-year-old vanished from a parking lot. In another, a 9-year-old got sick after eating cookies given outside a grocery store. Nothing traced back to a suspect. Until now. The common factor, in each town, a substitute teacher registered under a different name shortly before the incidents. Different social security numbers, but the handwriting matched. Ryan stared at the printouts, gut twisting. Whoever this woman was, she was mobile, careful, and calculating. He brought the info to his captain, Sheriff Laura Hayes, a no-nonsense veteran with sharp instincts. You're saying we've got a possible serial poisoner targeting boys at schools, she said, scanning the report. Yes, ma'am. And Titan may have stopped the next victim. Hayes leaned back, exhaling sharply. Okay, this isn't local anymore. I'll contact the state task force. But for now, I want you and Titan at that school every damn day. Morning and afternoon. Quietly. No press yet. Yes, ma'am. She stood, then added, and Carter, watch your back. This kind of woman? She's not working alone. The next morning, Ryan stood outside Maple Grove Elementary again. Same time, same routine. But no smiles today. He and Titan positioned themselves near the front gate, scanning every parent, every car, and every unfamiliar face. Titan was on edge, tail high, ears twitching at every sound. At 7:55 a.m., a white Toyota Camry slowed in front of the school. Ryan's eyes narrowed. It idled too long. Tinted windows hid the driver, but he saw a silhouette. Titan growled low. The car sped off. Ryan ran to his cruiser, radioing the license plate. It was registered to a rental company in Cincinnati. No driver ID, no return location. Another ghost. That night, Ryan found a small package on his porch. No postage, no label. Inside, a single green candy and a note, "You were lucky this time." Titan sniffed it once, then barked, angry, knocking it off the table before Ryan could react. He gloved up and double-bagged it. This wasn't over. He spent hours reviewing footage from the school's parking lot, nearby neighborhoods, gas stations, and traffic cams. By midnight, he caught a partial glimpse. A woman at a gas station 2 hours earlier. Scarf, sunglasses, black trench coat. She bought lemon disinfectant wipes, then vanished. As Ryan prepared for another early patrol, he glanced at Titan, who stood alert by the door, leash in mouth. "You knew it wasn't just candy," Ryan said, rubbing his ears. Titan wagged once, eyes fierce. "I don't know how," Ryan whispered, "but you just saved a kid's life. And possibly more. Somewhere out there, a predator was watching. Waiting for her next move." It was just before dawn when Titan froze, refusing to move. Officer Ryan Carter tugged the leash gently. The German Shepherd stood rigid, muscles tight, nose low, eyes locked on something ahead. They were 2 blocks from Maple Grove Elementary, part of their early morning sweep since the candy incident. Same route, same streets. But Titan was different today. Ryan looked up and saw why. A woman stood across the street by an old telephone pole. Gray scarf, oversized sunglasses, motionless. Watching. Then, as if sensing Titan's stare, she turned and walked calmly into the fog. Ryan radioed it in, crossing the street with Titan tense at his side. She was gone. No tire marks, no footprints, not even a receipt. Like a damn ghost, Ryan muttered, scanning the alley. Titan sniffed the sidewalk, turning down a side path behind a row of homes. His tail stood high, ears alert. At a chain-link fence behind a house, he stopped. A single green candy wrapper fluttered at the base. Ryan bagged it carefully and tagged the location. He stood silently, staring down the narrow corridor between backyards. Whoever she wasn't just watching the school. She was watching Titan. Later that morning, Ryan sat with Principal Sarah Bennett in the staff lounge. "You think she's back?" Sarah asked, rubbing her temples. "I think she never left," Ryan said. "And she's studying our routine, waiting for us to slip." Sarah looked out the window toward the playground, where kids laughed. "I want to believe this place is safe," she said softly. "But something tells me it never was." Ryan nodded. "I need your substitute teacher files. Anyone hired or background checked in the last 2 years, especially floaters who work a day or two." "I'll get them," Sarah said. "Anything else?" "Yeah," Ryan added. "Tell teachers not to mention this to students. No panic. But if anyone sees a woman, scarf, sunglasses, long coat, they come to me immediately." Sarah's face paled, but she nodded. "I'll take care of it." That night, Ryan sat on the floor of his small ranch-style house. Papers spread across the carpet, photos, maps, printouts, candy wrappers, and lab results. A madman's puzzle, taking shape. 4 towns, 5 children, and 3 types of candy. One pattern: the woman only appeared when no adults were looking. Quiet streets, back gates, chaotic pickup lines where she became invisible. She had a method. A rhythm. Ryan was getting closer. Just after midnight, Titan barked at the back door. Ryan bolted upright. Titan never barked unless someone was on the property. He grabbed his flashlight and handgun, heart pounding. Titan pressed against the back door, body stiff, eyes on the tree line. Ryan stepped onto the porch, sweeping the beam across the grass. Nothing. Then, at the far corner of the fence, a glint. He approached, Titan glued to his side. Taped to the fence with duct tape, a note: "I see how much he trusts you." No name, no address. Just those 8 words in jagged black ink. Attached, a small plastic bag with 2 more candies, identical to Caleb's. The next morning, Ryan sat across from Sheriff Hayes, placing the note and bag on her desk. "She was on my property last night," he said bluntly. "She's escalating." Hayes raised an eyebrow. "Did that dog of yours scare her off?" "She didn't seem scared," Ryan said. "She left the candy like it was a dare." Hayes tapped the desk. "We need eyes everywhere. Cameras, volunteers, and patrol cars at every corner. She's not hiding anymore. She's taunting us." Ryan nodded. "I want to expand our presence at the school. And interview older students, quietly. See if anyone's seen her and didn't realize it." "You think she's been inside?" "I think she's been close enough." That afternoon, Ryan visited Caleb again. Lisa Wilson answered, tears in her eyes. He's not eating much, she said quietly. And he keeps asking if Titan's mad at him. Ryan knelt beside the boy. Hey, champ, he said. Titan's not mad. He's proud of you. Caleb gave a weak smile. He saved me. Yeah, he did, Ryan said. But I need to ask something else. Has anyone at school given you anything weird lately? A teacher, maybe? Someone you don't know well? Caleb thought hard. There was a lady who helped at art class once. She had shiny shoes. I remember because she stepped in my paint. What did she look like? She wore gloves, Caleb said. And she didn't talk much. Lisa frowned. I don't remember anyone like that on staff. Ryan's blood ran cold. That wasn't just a volunteer. Back at the station, Ryan scanned recent substitute teacher files. One name stood out, Clara Vance. The ID photo was blurry. Too blurry. He ran the number through the DMV database. Nothing. The social security number? Flagged. It belonged to a deceased woman in Nevada. Fake ID, fake name, fake everything. But the handwriting matched the earlier cases. She's been inside the school, Ryan muttered. And she left through the front door. The next morning, Ryan and Titan returned to Maple Grove Elementary. They circled the perimeter, sniffing the front gate, then the back delivery entrance. Near the rear fence, Titan froze. This time, he didn't growl. He whimpered. Ryan knelt, scanning the dirt. Something caught his eye, a small plastic button, bright green, child-sized, from a school uniform jacket. He bagged it immediately. Later that evening, Ryan sat in his war zone of a living room. This time, he had help. Officer Megan Torres, tech-savvy with a knack for patterns. You're thinking she's scouting kids ahead of time, Megan said, scrolling through substitute teacher records. Yeah, Ryan said. She doesn't just show up randomly. She watches. Studies. And when the opportunity's right, she moves. Megan nodded, pulling up a map of the 4 schools. She pointed. Each school had a gap in security cameras between 7:45 and 8 a.m. drop-off window. And at each location, Megan added, a teacher filed a noise complaint about a barking dog. Even though no dogs were on the property. Ryan and Megan locked eyes. She's not just avoiding people, Ryan said. She's testing how far she can get. And next time, Megan added, she won't leave Candy. She'll take someone. The call came at 4:27 p.m. Student missing. Last seen leaving Maple Grove Elementary on foot. Name, Lily Harper, age 9. Officer Ryan Carter was halfway through a sandwich when the dispatcher's voice cracked over the radio. By the time he and Titan arrived at the school, a crowd had gathered. Parents whispered by the gate. Teachers paced near the office entrance. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the playground. Something felt wrong. The kind of wrong that raised the hair on your neck. Where was she last seen? Ryan asked, striding up to Principal Sarah Bennett. She left with the Walkers, Sarah said, voice tight. Takes the same route home every day. 4 blocks west. She walks alone? No, usually with her older brother, Max. But he stayed for soccer today. Ryan's chest tightened. So she was alone today. Sarah nodded. Did anybody see her talking to anyone? A woman, maybe? One staff member said she hesitated near the corner, like she was waiting for someone. But they didn't see who. Ryan turned to Titan, crouched, and gave a firm command. Find her, boy. Titan let out a low whine, nose to the ground, and moved. They followed Lily's usual route, past the old Baptist church, across Elm Street, and down a tree-lined sidewalk to a residential cul-de-sac. Halfway down the block, Titan stopped. He sniffed the air, circled, then darted into the grass by a bench. There, in the dirt, was a pink hair clip with a tiny silver butterfly. Ryan pulled Lily's school file photo. She was wearing it. His stomach dropped. Titan growled, then took off down the sidewalk, leash taut in Ryan's hand. They passed houses until they reached an alley splitting behind old garages. Titan stopped cold, looking at Ryan, then the alley, then back. "Which way, buddy?" Ryan whispered. Titan chose right. Behind a dumpster, they found the candy wrapper. Same green foil, same twisted end. Torn clean through, empty inside. Ryan's heart pounded. He radioed for backup. "Dispatch, 10 to 57 confirmed. Missing juvenile, candy wrapper found. Possible abduction. Request search teams and dogs ASAP." Titan barked sharply, pulling toward the woods behind the alley. Ryan followed without hesitation. By nightfall, search crews arrived, volunteers, officers from neighboring counties, and K-9 teams. Helicopters hovered with spotlights. Parents held each other behind yellow tape. News vans circled. But Titan never stopped moving. He darted through branches, over logs, and down muddy slopes. Ryan could barely keep up. 2 hours in, they reached a clearing near an old drainage tunnel, the kind kids dared each other to crawl into in summer. Titan stopped at the entrance. He didn't bark. He whimpered. Ryan knelt beside him and listened. Faintly, he heard it, a soft, stifled cry inside. He called for a medic before crawling in. The tunnel smelled of mold and dirt, damp and cold, lit only by Ryan's flashlight. He moved on hands and knees, heart pounding. Then he saw her. Lily Harper, curled into herself at the far end, arms around her knees, eyes wide with terror. "It's okay," Ryan whispered. "I'm Officer Carter. I'm here to take you home." She didn't speak, just reached out with trembling hands. Ryan carried her out. Medics swarmed to check her vitals. She was dehydrated, bruised, and scared but alive. Lily's mother, Rachel, dropped to her knees, sobbing when she saw her daughter emerge from the woods. Lily didn't say a word. She only turned and looked at Titan. Then she smiled. At the station, Ryan reviewed footage from homes along Lily's route. One doorbell cam, 2 houses from the alley, caught it. A woman in a trench coat walking behind Lily, keeping distance. Sunglasses, scarf, large shoulder bag. But a new detail, a white flower pin on her coat. Ryan froze the frame and zoomed in. It matched the staff pins worn by visiting librarians. He pulled school records immediately. 3 weeks ago, Maple Grove hosted a mobile book truck, a literacy program touring rural schools. One volunteer, Clara Vance. Same fake name, same dead woman's social security number. She'd been there, in plain sight. Ryan slammed his fist on the desk. She'd gotten closer than anyone realized. Later that night, Lily's mother called the station. "She wants to talk to you," Rachel said softly. Ryan took the call. Lily's voice was quiet. "She told me I could read any book I wanted," she whispered. "She said she had special ones for brave girls." Ryan's jaw clenched. "Did she hurt you?" "No," Lily said. "But she gave me a candy. I didn't eat it." Ryan exhaled slowly. "Good girl." "Why not?" "Because Titan told me not to." Ryan blinked. "He wasn't there, sweetie." "Yes, he was," she insisted. "In my head." The next day, Ryan and Titan returned to the drainage tunnel in daylight. Forensics came along. Inside, taped beneath a loose brick, another note, this one got away, but I never forget the quiet ones. And in a Ziploc bag, another piece of candy. Ryan held it up, sunlight catching the green wrapper. She was playing with them. Leaving clues. Taunts. She was getting bolder. Sloppier. Sheriff Hayes called an emergency meeting that night. This isn't just a child predator, she said, slamming a folder on the table. This is a sociopath with a chemical background and a flair for drama. She's escalating. The FBI was now involved. A profile was being built. But Ryan knew one thing no profiler could explain: Titan. He'd found the girl when no one else could. Somehow, he always knew when she was near. At home, Ryan sat on the floor, Titan beside him. He stared at the candy under the evidence glass. I need to think like her, he said softly. Where would she go next? Titan rested his head on Ryan's knee, letting out a low breath. Then he sat up, ears forward, alert. A faint knock echoed from the front door. Ryan grabbed his sidearm and approached slowly. No one was there. But taped to the mailbox was a folded note: Titan is clever. Let's see how clever you are. The note stayed pinned to the precinct wall all night. Titan is clever. Let's see how clever you are. Sheriff Hayes stared at it, arms crossed. Officer Megan Torres paced, rubbing her temples. She's taunting us again, Megan muttered. She wants a reaction. She's already gotten one, Ryan replied. We nearly lost Lily. That won't happen again. Hayes tapped the whiteboard behind her. A map of 4 counties, with red pins marking where children were approached, poisoned, or nearly taken. She doesn't stay in one place long, Hayes said. Moves between towns, cycles fake names, and blends into schools and libraries. But what if she's not choosing randomly? Ryan said. Hayes turned. You think there's a pattern? No, Hayes said. I think Titan does. All eyes turned to the German Shepherd by the door, head on paws, eyes wide open. Ryan looked at the board, then back at Titan. You're right, he said slowly. Let's see what he can sniff out. The next morning, Ryan loaded Titan into the cruiser. They drove to each town where the suspect appeared: candy incidents, mobile libraries, and school visits. Titan was calm at first, curious, and alert. But in Willow Creek, 30 minutes east of Green Haven, something changed. As they passed a small brick elementary school, Titan stood in the back seat. He barked twice, loud. Ryan hit the brakes, pulling into the lot. What is it, boy? Titan whined, scratching at the window. Ryan got out, unclipped the leash, and let him lead. Titan darted to the sidewalk, nose to the pavement, circling the building to a fenced-in staff lot. He stopped at the back gate, growling at the fence corner. Ryan knelt and looked down. Another green candy wrapper, tucked beneath grass. Ryan bagged it immediately. Son of a, he muttered. She's already been here. Inside, the Willow Creek school secretary confirmed a new part-time assistant, C. Vance, started 3 days ago. Lunch duty, library filing. She said she was with a district temp program, the secretary said. Had her ID and everything. Polite, quiet, kids liked her. Ryan showed the blurry photo from the Green Haven file. Yeah, the secretary said. That's her. Left early yesterday, didn't come back today. Ryan's heart dropped. Where's your student pickup area? Out front, main doors. Pull security footage now. On the tape, at 3:17 p.m. the day before, a woman in a beige trench coat and scarf stood near the curb. A boy with a green backpack approached. She leaned down, smiled, and reached into her purse. Then a teacher waved from the doorway, calling the boy back. The woman turned, walked away, and disappeared behind parked cars. Ryan froze the frame. The boy had red hair and freckles. His name was Noah Reed, age 7. Ryan knocked on the Reed family's door at sunset. Noah's mother, Emily, looked confused, then terrified when shown the photo. He said someone gave him candy, Emily whispered, eyes wide. I didn't believe him. Thought it was a neighbor. Did he eat it? Ryan asked quickly. No, he said it smelled weird. Threw it away. Do you still have it? In the kitchen trash. Ryan gloved up and dug it out. Same green foil, same shape, same poison. Just like Lily, just like Caleb. Somehow, Titan had known. Back at the station, forensics compared the wrapper from Noah's case. Microscopic analysis revealed a partial fingerprint, likely from degrading latex gloves. Faint, but a lead. She's getting sloppy, Megan said. She's getting cocky, Ryan replied. She's getting both, Hayes added. Hayes ordered district-wide alerts. Substitute hiring froze. Schools verified IDs against state records. Parents were told to watch for a woman in sunglasses and scarves, reporting any adult approaching a child alone. Still, something nagged Ryan. Why this cycle? Why poison Candy and not just abduct outright? What's her endgame? He muttered to Titan, scratching his ears. Titan stared at the door, ears twitching. The next morning, Megan called at 6:30 a.m., check your email. You need to see this. Ryan pulled it up, a trail cam photo behind Willow Creek's playground fence, meant for raccoons. It caught her. Scarf, coat, sunglasses, black bag. Kneeling by the fence, burying something. Ryan and Titan were on the scene within the hour. Under 3 inches of loose soil, they found a small plastic lunchbox. Inside, 6 wrapped candies, a child's friendship bracelet, and a crumpled flyer for a community storytelling event. The flyer's back was covered in handwritten notes. He always smells it. He always knows. The boy with red hair. Trust me, she said she'd tell. She has to be next. Ryan stared in silence. She's picking her next victim. By noon, Noah was under protective watch. School officials triple-checked student handoffs. Teachers eyed every adult near the property. Still, unease clung to Ryan. She's not going to try the same way again, he told Hayes. She'll adapt. Change the setting. He pulled the flyer again. Community storytelling night at Willow Creek Public Library. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. snacks and free giveaways for kids. Ryan circled it. That's her next move. The next evening, Ryan and Titan arrived at the library an hour early. The children's section was a cozy nook, beanbag chairs, string lights, tables with candy bowls and bookmarks. Volunteers wore red lanyards and smiley face badges. Ryan scanned the crowd. Then he saw her. Back corner, gray scarf, no badge. Kneeling by a bookshelf, speaking to a little girl. Titan growled. Ryan moved fast, hand on his belt, pushing through parents and kids. Ma'am, he barked. She looked up, expression blank for a split second. Then she bolted. She ran for the back exit, knocking over a table. Parents screamed. But Titan was faster. He broke free, racing through book rows, skidding across tile. In one leap, he tackled her to the floor just before the exit. By the time Ryan reached them, she was screaming. She's mine. That little girl, she's not safe. Handcuffs clicked. Titan stood guard, growling low. It was over. Back at the station, her real name emerged, Nora Blake, former child psychologist. License revoked 5 years ago. 2 prior charges of inappropriate conduct, dropped. Diagnosed with untreated paranoid delusions. Her purse held 6 more candies, a child's journal, and conduct were notes tracking trust responses. She thought she was protecting children from imaginary harm, dosing them slowly, and testing loyalty. No remorse. No understanding. Just obsession. Later that night, Ryan sat on the floor with Titan beside him. A familiar ritual. "You saved 3 kids," he said softly. "Maybe more." Titan wagged his tail once, resting his head on Ryan's lap. "Still think you're just a dog?" Titan closed his eyes. Ryan smiled. For the first time in weeks, he exhaled. For the first time in weeks, morning at Maple Grove Elementary felt normal. Kids ran across the blacktop, backpacks bouncing. Parents lingered for extra hugs. Teachers smiled, though some carried shadows under their eyes. At the front gate stood Officer Ryan Carter, steady as ever. Beside him, tail wagging, nose twitching, was Titan. A new sign was posted near the entrance, laminated and official: "Notice, school protected by active canine patrol." No one questioned it. Not after what happened. Since Nora Blake's arrest, Ryan spent hours with detectives, psychologists, and Ryan has federal agents. She hadn't confessed outright, but her journals told a chilling story. 4 years of tests. Dozens of children. Notes on behavior, trust scores, and names crossed out as no longer viable. Twisted, organized, calculated. Ryan read those files late at night, alone in the briefing room, with Titan snoring under the table. Every page made his hands shake. Every note, every taped candy wrapper, reminded him how close they'd come to tragedy. But Titan changed the outcome every time. At the sheriff's office, Megan Torres compiled a report linking Nora to 5 attempted poisonings across 3 counties, 2 abduction attempts, and 1 death. A case in Pineville originally ruled an allergic reaction. Her background let her slip through the system. She knew how to seem harmless, Megan told Ryan. But Titan knew. "He always did," Ryan said. Megan nodded. "And now people want to thank him properly." The next Saturday, a crowd gathered at Veterans Park in downtown Green Haven. It started small: parents, teachers, officers. But word spread. By noon, the field was full. Students with hand-painted signs, families with phones, and elderly veterans who heard the story on the radio. News vans lined the curb. A makeshift stage stood by the flagpole. On it, Titan sat proudly, black tactical K9 vest polished, golden fur brushed. He didn't know what the fuss was, but everyone was smiling at him. Sheriff Laura Hayes stepped to the mic. "Heroes come in all shapes and sizes," she said. "Some wear badges, some wear boots, sometimes they wear 4 paws and a tail." The crowd chuckled. Hayes continued, "Titan did more than track a suspect. He saved lives. Warned us when our systems failed. Protected our children when someone dangerous walked among them. Most of all, he reminded us, instinct matters." Ryan stood quietly to the side, hand on Titan's harness. He didn't need the spotlight. Titan did the work. But when Hayes called his name, Ryan walked onto the stage. He held the leash in one hand and a small medal engraved with Titan's name in the other. "For extraordinary service and bravery." Ryan clipped it to Titan's vest. The crowd erupted. Titan barked once, sharp and confident, like he knew exactly what was happening. After the ceremony, kids rushed to pet him. Titan stood calmly, licking hands, sniffing backpacks, and letting one girl tie a purple ribbon around his collar. Ryan stood back, letting him soak it in. Lisa Wilson approached with Caleb by her side. Lily Harper followed, clutching her father's hand. "He still talks about Titan every night," Lisa said, smiling. Caleb nodded. "He's my hero." Lily added shyly, "He came into my dreams and told me not to eat the candy. I think he's magic." Ryan crouched down. "He's something special," he said. "But you know what? So are both of you. You were brave. You listened to your gut. That's what heroes do." They smiled. Titan wagged his tail. The media coverage spread fast. K-9 saves Ohio children from serial poisoner. Headlines ran from local outlets to national morning shows. Ryan turned down most interviews but allowed one short segment at the school, showing Titan in scent training with kids cheering. The clip went viral. But Ryan stayed focused. Despite the arrest, something felt unfinished. Late one evening, a week after the ceremony, a call came from a private number. Ryan answered cautiously. The voice was quiet and nervous. "Officer Carter, I'm Karen Holt. I was a counselor at a behavioral facility where Nora Blake was treated 2 years ago." Ryan sat up straighter. "Go on." "She mentioned a man once. He said he helped her and believed in her methods. We thought it was her delusion, but after the arrest, I checked old files." "Did she name him?" "Only ever called him Simon. Said he handled logistics and knew where to find kids who wouldn't be missed." Ryan's blood ran cold. "You have a last name?" "No, I'm sorry. But she drew pictures of him, over and over. And one more thing, she always said she'd never stop unless someone made her." That night, Ryan pulled the case file again. Photos spread on his living room floor, candy wrappers, notes, and lists of names. Titan padded over, sitting beside him, calm and quiet. "You think there's another one out there?" Ryan asked softly. Titan didn't respond, but his ears twitched at a sound outside. Ryan rose, hand on his hip, peering through the blinds. "Nothing. Just wind." He left the porch light on that night. The following week, Ryan returned to Maple Grove Elementary for a presentation in Mrs. Carter's third-grade class. Topic: What do police dogs really do? He and Titan stood at the front, showing commands and demonstrating scent games with hidden tennis balls. The kids loved it. At the end, Ryan asked, "If someone you don't know gives you something, candy, a toy, anything, what do you do?" Caleb raised his hand. "Tell an adult." Lily added, "Don't take it. Even if they smile." Ryan nodded. "And what else should you do?" The class answered in unison, "Trust your gut." In the corner, Titan barked softly, just once, as if to say, "Exactly right." 3 weeks after Nora Blake's arrest, peace in Green Haven felt fragile. Ryan felt it daily, a hum beneath the surface. Doors locked earlier. Parents lingered at drop-off. Even Titan scanned the world with a warier eye. Nora might be behind bars, but something didn't sit right. And now there was Simon. A name whispered over the phone by Karen Holt. A name absent from records but lodged in Ryan's mind like a splinter. That's why, even after the FBI closed their report, after cameras stopped showing up, and after Titan's medal shone in the station lobby, Ryan kept digging. And one night, he found something. It started with a school board maintenance invoice. Ryan wasn't looking for it, just organizing files. One entry stood out: contractor ID, ST Logistics, site inspection, cafeteria cooler, paid in cash. Dated 2 days before Lily disappeared. Ryan frowned. He cross-referenced the ID. No such contractor in Ohio. He checked surrounding counties. Nothing. But a private database hit on ST Logistics, an out-of-state shell company, dissolved a year ago. The signer, Simon T. Barrett. His stomach turned. The first real breadcrumb. The next morning, Ryan drove Titan to the school's cafeteria storage shed, listed on the invoice. Untouched since Nora's case. He gave the command, "Search." Titan's ears perked, circling the cooler, nose working fast. He stopped at the rear wall, growling, not at food, not at rats, but at something human. Ryan stepped back. Forensics was called. Behind the cooler wall, tucked in insulation foam, a sealed plastic evidence bag, a burner cell phone, child-sized name tags, and keys labeled Backgate Pineville School, the same school with the prior poisoning. This wasn't debris. It was a kit. Prepared, planted, hidden. Nora hadn't worked alone. Back at the station, Megan Torres pulled every record on Simon Barrett. The man was a ghost, no criminal history, no social media, no driver's license. But in facility maintenance databases for Tri-County schools, Barrett appeared as a temporary HVAC inspector 2 years ago. Signed in and out at 4 schools, all later tied to Candy incidents. He built her entry points, Megan said. Created blind spots in the buildings. And let her take the fall, Ryan added. But neither knew Simon was still watching. 3 days later, Caleb Wilson received a birthday card in the mail. Postmarked from Columbus. A cartoon dog on the front. Inside, "Happy birthday, brave boy. Tell Titan he's clever. Let's see if he remembers me." No signature. But tucked in the envelope, a friendship bracelet, identical to the one in Nora's burial box. They moved Caleb's family into protective custody that night. The FBI reopened the investigation. Ryan stopped sleeping. He sat on his porch for hours, Titan beside him, watching headlights that didn't belong and shadows that moved wrong. "You didn't catch him," he whispered. "You caught her, but he's still out there." Titan rested his head on Ryan's foot, then looked toward the tree line. A week later, a black pickup truck was spotted parked for hours near a rural school outside Dayton. When approached, the driver sped off before contact. In the glove box, the responding officer found a list of children's names. At the bottom, "Observe before harvest." Titan is the variable. It was official. This was bigger than anyone realized. Sheriff Hayes assembled a multi-jurisdiction task force. Schools in 4 counties adopted new security protocols. K-9 teams rotated through campuses weekly. Flyers warned of gift-giving strangers. And Titan kept working. Calm, focused, and fierce when needed. One night, during a town hall, a nervous mother asked Ryan how to protect their kids when monsters looked like neighbors. Ryan paused, then said, "Trust your gut. Listen to your kids. And sometimes, let a dog show you the truth." The room fell silent. Then someone clapped. Then another. Soon, every person stood, applauding Titan, the dog who didn't just chase criminals. He felt them. 2 months passed. No new letters, no sightings. It wasn't over, but it was quiet. Ryan took the quiet when it came. One afternoon, he and Titan walked the trail behind Maple Grove Elementary. Kids were at recess, laughing, shouting, and chasing each other under the late spring sun. Caleb ran up, holding a peanut butter dog treat he'd begged his mom to bring. "Can I give it to him now?" he asked. Ryan smiled. "Go ahead." Titan sniffed it once, then took it gently, wagging his tail. "Thanks for keeping us safe," Caleb whispered. Titan licked his hand in reply. That night, Ryan opened a fresh file at the station, Operation Barrett, open case. He clipped in Caleb's envelope, a copy of the burner phone log. Under lead investigator, Officer R. Carter and K-9 Titan. He didn't know how long it would take or when Simon would show again. But he knew one thing, they'd be ready. If Titan could talk, what do you think he'd say to Officer Ryan at the end of this journey? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.